Hey JTJ, this is Woo Boy from JTJ Maine. I'm also part of the Town Hall 9 Dojo. So with the recent update, we saw a major boost in Valkyries. So I thought it might be helpful to show my most recent war attack using mass Valkyries, and hopefully through this explanation and kind of my thoughts here, it'll help you guys in your war attacks. So you can see from the layout down below, I used 4 earthquakes to open up the base for the Valkyries, 3 heals. I also used a Snipe Loonian as my action off of the Valkyries. And so with that Snipe Loonian, the reason that I thought about using that in this attack, if you kind of look at this base, you can see, if I use 4 earthquakes to destroy the walls in this area, it opens up a huge section for the Valkyries. And so, this is kind of what I was looking at when analyzing this base breakdown. And with that huge core opened up, the Valkyries would just run wild. And another thing that I noticed is that the 4 air defenses, 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as one of the sweepers was inside of that box. So when I was thinking through this attack, I decided that Snipe Loonian might be a better option than Hogs, because there's a lot of open area here between some of these defenses, which could be double bombs. Again, this is a first hit, so I didn't really know where the Teslas were, where the double bombs were, or anything else. So I was just kind of planning this from scratch. I also didn't know what was in the CC. We saw a lot of hounds in their CCs, so I kind of hoped that it was a hound. Hounds aren't too deadly in terms of Valkyrie armies unless you pop them, which you'll see happen to me in this raid. So again, to talk you through the plan, once those air defenses go down, my idea was to send a couple loons at these archer towers on the periphery. I didn't really know how the Valks were going to path. My hope was that they would come to this side here, where I could clear off those defenses on the side, and getting that sweeper down and getting that second air defense, that would be a pretty nice path. But I tried to keep an open mind and to kind of see how the raid played out. So another thing I was going to use is a couple wall breakers to open up that first compartment. I used 2 golems here, one in the CC. So my plan was to have my 2 golems post up, clear a lot of the trash on the side here, and then once that trash was gone, I could use my wall breakers to bust through in the middle, and then send in my Valk army. So we can look at how the raid played out, and you can see sometimes things don't quite go to plan, and you kind of have to adjust on the fly here, which is what happened to me. But I'll kind of talk you through it, and I think it also showed the power of the Valkyrie army, because even when a lot of things went wrong, I was still able to go through and succeed and get the 3-star. So I'm going to start off this raid with my earthquake. I like to do that because doing it in the middle of battle is a little bit tough to make sure you get it right on. So that opens up that whole central core. You can see my wizards go down. Nothing could shoot them at this point. And then here comes the golems. So again, here's the first place where the raid kind of goes sideways. My original plan was that the golems would kind of go like this and post up. But you can see when I placed the golems, they kind of went diagonal here. So I had to kind of adjust my entry point a little bit. Instead of blowing the wall breakers at that gold storage, I kind of had to shift them over a little bit, so to make sure that both golems took the dive in the middle. So that was the first adjustment. So you can see clearing the trash here, making a proper funnel to make sure the Valkyries go where I need them. Sent in my one test wall breaker just to test for small bombs and traps. No small bombs, so then here comes the 3 to bust the wall. Queen and King go down, and you can see my golem starting to take the dive here in the middle, and there comes the redheads. So one thing to note about mass Valks, Valks are very, very quick and very strong. So when you cast your heals, again, I have 3 heal spells for the Valks, you want to lead it way forward, way more forward than you're used to with hogs. So getting that heal down, and they got a little bit ahead of the golems here. The Hound comes out of the CC, so that's a good thing for Valks for the most part. So here's where, again, the raid kind of went a little bit different than what I had originally planned. You can see the Valks cleared this AD, and they started working on the right side of the base instead of the left, which is okay. The problem with that is that the sweeper here is not in that center box. So my idea was, I saw all these defenses here on the side to start going after these archer towers. But as you're going to see in my raid, the sweeper did give me some trouble here. So not really quite to plan, but again, my heals were pretty good. Cast that heal forward. There goes the ADs. So here comes the loons. But again, that nasty sweeper is just gonna kind of play havoc. The Valkyries are so strong. So here they are cleaning up the other side. I think in retrospect, I probably should have just waited and sent in the loons from the other position, but. Hindsight is 20/20. When you have a raid going on, you're just trying to think as fast as you can on your feet. But you can see, I still have 10, 12 Valks up. Here's another problem. My queen popped the Hound and was not really in adequate position to clear all the pups. I didn't have a poison because I used all those earthquakes. So you're going to see the pups just kind of do a number on my Valkyries here. Didn't really have anything to clean it. The loons did a decent job, clearing off some of those cannons and archer towers and point defenses. So that definitely helped things. My King's coming through with a couple archers behind it, cleaning up those last couple archer towers at the 8 o'clock position. Queen finally does her job, gets to that Tesla, clearing up some of the trash. So here's where it starts to look good again. Got a couple Valkyries left, only a few buildings, and I had plenty of time in this raid, so it really worked out pretty well. And then down to the last gold storage, and there it goes. So. With the new update, Valkyries are very, very strong. I would definitely recommend giving them a try in your war. Don't think, that hogs are the only way to snipe on the back end. I think loons can be very good. They're not going to fall victim to spring traps. You don't have to worry about giant bombs now. Again, I think my loon deploy could have been a little bit better there, as I had trouble with the sweeper, but I think it's a very viable technique that you guys can use in your clan wars. So again, this is Woo Boy from JTJ Maine. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and I really encourage you to get out there and try some mass Valkyrie armies. I think it'll really help you in the long run. So Woo Boy signing off.